My name's Eric. I'm making animated faces that you can talk to with your actual mouth. I just noticed I've got my light on. I hate that, so let me fix my light. Alright, let's demo. So recently I completed iris recoloring. Iris that's this part of the eye, this very specific part of the eye. A lot of times people say pupils. Pupils is the part that's the very inner part of the eye where it's darker. But this area around the outside that's typically is colored, that's called an iris. And so now I can come over here and set this to different things. Bam, 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 bam. I don't have to say bam after each change. These darker colors are tougher because my algorithm is darkening the color, but it also ends up darkening this little interior portion, so I have to tweak it with a contrast. Anyways, a lot of tweaky stuff. I did it off stream because it's boring to watch. Now, all the stuff that I do is boring to watch by some eyes, but yeah, I like to think that maybe there's some stuff I work on that people are more willing to stick around and watch. Coding in particular. So yeah, I fixed some bugs along the way. Nothing too interesting, but just generally making all this stuff robust. I don't want to have weird little bugs all the time that I'm fixing. So I generally stop and fix a bug as soon as I see it. Or soon after I see it, maybe within a day or two. Don't like to leave them for a long time because they have a way of growing on top of each other and making it harder to add new things, and because you have to keep on adding a caveat to it. Oh, but there's that bug. It would be working right, except there's that one bug. And then you fix that bug, and then maybe you find out there was something else you had to do. And basically the foundation of everything you work on has to be good in order for you to make progress quickly. And fixing bugs tends to correct things that'll slow you down later. Okay, so this is a relatively bug-free project at this point, and I'm pretty happy about that. It's not sure how many lines of code it is. It might be around 10,000 at this point. It's getting up there. It's getting to be like a complex code base. Okay, so today I don't have much time. In fact, I'm going to stop in about a half hour. I figured I'd pick something really easy to do with that half hour. And the thing I'm going to do is make it so if you click outside of the face, it will just remove this selection box. Because I find a lot of times I'm clicking on the head just so I can see the face clearly. And it would be nicer to just be able to click anywhere outside of the head and have the selection box disappear. Okay. Or, you know what might even be better and easier? Just have it select the head. Yeah, that's going to be even easier. Let's do that. Because the reason why I just now decided not to have the selection box fully disappear is because this pane over here on the right, I always like to have it selected on something. It's more useful to keep it on the head than it is to have this, say, be empty or be whatever the last thing was that you selected. So maybe less confusing states to deal with for the user and my code. All right, so let's come over to Wisp. Let's go to Part UI Manager. So we say on mouse down. So what happens if I say just pass this even if it is not null? I mean, if it is a Orham. I'll tell you. What does unselected state mean? So I changed my mind a little bit about what I would do, but I was thinking how when I'm working on this, every once in a while, I want to just get rid of the selection box and just click outside the head and have the selection box go away. Just so I can see it better, so I can see what the face will look like. But then I decided, you know what I can do instead is just have it select the head if I click outside the head, and that's a little bit better. So I'm revising my goal for the session, but that's where the unselected came from. How's your Saturday going? Outside, I've got my neighbor yelling at his dog. Oh. Okay, so if I just take this out. Okay. Oh, yeah, that stuff's annoying. More than annoying, it's well, for me, it's always stressful. Plumbing, water leaking. So there's potential for damage, and there's just like, you want your house to not be full of water and crap. Yeah. Anyways, good luck with that. On part click. So that makes it worse and better. Better because it's not your property to have to worry about damaging and costs. Worse because it's like not under your control how it gets repaired necessarily. You have to rely on the friggin' apartment manager, property manager to deal with it. I suppose it's not a bad thing if you've got a good landlord. Anyways, I'm saying obvious things. Boom. Okay, what was this? On. Where's the. What's the callback? Part UI manager on part click. Funky monkey. Funky monkey. What's going on? It has been a while. Okay. It's going good. So Funky, that game I was working on when you were chatting me before, that's all done and released. I've kind of moved on to the next project. It's a face animation tool, to say it briefly. Okay, where is on part click? Okay, so this can be part, track part, or it can be null. That was the one. So that one's released. That one got done. Let's do something like set a default part. Or let me see, set focus. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, then. With some pretty heavy moonlighting, about 4 years. I mean, like averaging maybe 30 hours a week for 4 years. Let's see. Is default. Holy. That's fine. This can stay exactly as it was. Okay, so here we say const. I'm impressed with it, but not as much as the world is. So here's the thing about it. You've got to understand it's like very clever mimicry of things that humans have done previously. It's like autocomplete on steroids. So it's not really thinking, it's just very cleverly processing things that have been done before. It's essentially a triumph of big data, but not that impressive of an algorithm. But it's cool though. It's cool. It's just everyone kind of misinterprets its capabilities, I think. And also at the same time, in a lot of ways, it's a celebration of like human achievement more than AI. So when you look at, say, DALL-E, which is, the image-based version of ChatGPT, I guess, when it makes like Stephen Colbert on a unicycle riding down a ramp into a canyon, it went and found like all this stuff that other artists did and threw it together expertly. But when people say, well, it replaced humans, you have to kind of imagine like all the building blocks of it came from humans. Will it suppress the creativity of humans through market forces? That's a more likely situation. So I picture decades of mediocrity being spewed forth from users of this software, and real skills in creation and thinking through things from scratch atrophying because it feels like there's no point. There's no point in making a new piece of art in a different style when you could just do the easy thing and have it come up for you real quick. And if you are one of those people that's creating fresh, you're at a disadvantage in the marketplace. And it's even a disadvantage based upon content that other people have generated that didn't participate. So it's amazing, but it makes me just kind of feel like humans are just a little bit ready too ready to just say, screw it, just have robots do everything. Anyways, that was my long rant. But what do you think about ChatGPT? And I quite fair if you you think something completely different than what I just said. Wouldn't hold that against you. Let's see. Next part is going to equal this thing here. Yeah, I hope it leads to not just people being able to do art more cheaply and for free, but also for like some things that go beyond what we've been able to accomplish before. Yeah, it definitely makes me think of that. And I'm a bit of a hypocrite too, because like, let me see if this thing is broken already. The tool I'm making in some ways is exactly the same kind of force. Let me get it into working state and I'll show you. Because I just broke it. Okay, track parts for face. If current part, blah, 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 blah. Will be the default. Let's say false. Okay, what's this? Okay, then what's something that's broken? Part UI Manager. 84. Okay, that makes sense. So let's go back up to that. Part UI Manager. Fix this stuff. Okay, so we say if part equals null, part equals this default part. Okay. Yeah, definitely overreacting. I think the more likely thing is we just gradually shift our habits, and I've gone through a million versions of this already. Like, you're probably a software developer yourself. I vaguely remember you were doing some stuff with that. But test automation, take that for example. So manual testing was a huge profession. As little as say 5 years ago. Then CI/CD, continuous deployment, with an emphasis on writing test automation and some economic factors, essentially made it so that, yeah, you could be a manual tester, but there's much less work available for you. And really, you should learn how to write automated tests or just get into production coding, because production coders are going to be writing their own tests for the code that they merge in. And we don't need manual testing. That was the big message. And it didn't mean like that everybody suddenly lost their job. It meant that there was this game of musical chairs, and there were less and less chairs as you went on for a manual tester to sit down in. And at this point, the remaining manual test jobs are maybe 5% of what they were 5 years ago, right? So that's kind of how this stuff goes, but there's plenty of work still to do because people sort of move to different tasks. There is some trouble with this idea that people will continuously move from one job to another as technology automates them away. The problem is that the new jobs tend to be harder to do. They require more and more specialized skills or intelligence or something. Like if everyone gives up a job driving trucks, it's not like they're going to be from that same group of people. They're going to be computer programmers the next day and maintain trucks. Some percentage of them maybe, but yeah. And then another thing too is maybe I just lost that thought. Oh yeah. Our society is based on the idea that you go into debt paying for your training to get the job that will be your career, and that we're going to open the doors for people after they've spent 4 years in school and gone into debt. This is a very U.S. centric thing. That they're good at that point. Well, you're not good. So the whole thing about you spending 4 years of your life to get trained up in one area that may go away in 10 years, it's no longer a good deal for people. It's not a good deal at all. It's less and less of a good deal when you say, like, the thing that you trained me for is now obsolete in 10 years and I've got 30 to 40 years of debt to pay back on my student loans. So society has got to change in order for this heavily automated world to work. It might be that we need like more social programs to catch the people that drop off the bottom. It might be that we need just training to be something that's easier and cheaper. But things have got to change from what they are now. Otherwise, we'll just have a bunch of broke, angry people. Sorry, you got me on my soapbox proper. Stuff plays in my head all the time, and I'm a bit spring-loaded. Okay. All right, so then part becomes the default part, but it's possible that even the part that's returned is still null. Okay, so let's just say will that do it? Yeah, okay, let's try that. Also, the other thing that like ChatGPT makes me reflect upon is to what extent myself and other people are doing the same thing as ChatGPT is. Because I just gave you like a little 2-minute mini rant, It's based upon my own thoughts, but it's also based upon like a sort of curation of watching 100 podcasts and picking out like the things I like the best out of what different people said and thought. And I'll give myself enough credit that like I did think through some of that stuff and not accept it blindly, but it is also to some extent like a regurgitation of things other people have said. And that is what ChatGPT is. All right. So part click. Am I back in the clear? Okay, so I was saying is I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I'm making a tool that makes it so anybody can throw together some faces for different characters, and there's like you can pick which nose you want. You can change the positioning of things, get different faces that way. You can set the hair color to something different. Yeah. So if like a proper artist was looking at this, she might say, wow, you're just kind of like making it so people can create cookie cutter faces and never try anything new. But I don't know. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I won't single-handedly destroy society with this app. Okay, so let's see. If I click here, nope, I haven't set the default yet. Okay, so I need to go into what's the thing that sets the default? It's going to be in general interactions. Where is it? Track parts for face, is that it? That's probably it right there. Okay. So come back to track parts for face. Let's see, const is default. No, this here, okay. Okay. Nope, let's go back. Okay, so const is default equals next part component equals the head component. Okay, like that. And I will give fair warning now. As soon as I get this feature complete, I'm going to disappear from the stream abruptly because I got some errands I got to do. Gonna do with my wife. Take her to a medical appointment. Go to a car dealership. Okay, that's what I want. That's what I wanted. So I click here and it just selects the head. Selected head. That was the little revision. TypeScript is not bad. It saved JavaScript from being a horrible language, in my opinion. In my opinionated opinion. But yeah, that was the one thing I hated about JavaScript. There's no typing in it by default. And I forget the name of the person who came up with TypeScript, but it was really a very well-created solution that deserved to take over in the web development community. So yeah, I appreciate it. Although every once in a while it gives me some pain. All right, let's see. What do I got to commit here? Get status. Hey, Funky Monkey, what dev stuff are you working in these days? Oh, there you go. Python. Plenty of Python work out there. Particularly if you're like, I think you were like, you were kind of more on the data side. Like, are you kind of like a data analysis guy? Because Python would make a lot of sense for that. But actually, I may misremember. Okay, nothing there. Let's see. Then we go to what is it? What did I just do? Make head be default selection when clicking outside of it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Crawlers are fun to going out and just harvesting data from different websites and stuff. I made one Discord bot. Not that it was that good, but I did think it was kind of cool that they made it so that you just run the Discord bot from whatever box you have instead of hosting it with the Discord site. Yeah. All right, so I pushed that. Just double check I didn't screw up anything. I should still be able to drag. Resize. Okay, cool. Yeah, it seems to be holding up. Oh, shit. Yeah, yeah. Did you ever do anything with Twitch? I found it interesting that their API didn't directly allow you to grab the chat information in Twitch, but I think they are using like a normal chat server like ICQ or something like that, and you have to use that protocol. Yeah. Anyways, my wife is pinging me. I gotta get myself cleaned up so I can get out the door and go for a little Saturday errand fest. Cool talking with you. Yeah, catch you later. And Orham, thanks for hanging out. And anybody else, thanks for lurking. Catch y'all later.